Yaakov Katz, a lot to cover as we end this year, head into next year. Elections could be called at pretty much any moment. Do you have a sense from your reporting when you think these elections are going to be? And how do you think October 7th shapes that environment?
I don't think Netanyahu wants Israelis going to the polls around the anniversary of October 7th. He wants to move away from October 7th. So if he can, he'll try to move it up slightly if he wants to try to get the most out of this government. Talk is maybe in September. The date to look at, Joel, is March. By end of March,
that's the budget.
Israel needs to pass a budget. If he passes a budget, smooth sailing until the moment he decides to bring down the government, dissolve the Knesset, and go to an election. My guess would be it would happen around June, and then we would have an election in September. If we can't pass a budget, and there's a good chance he won't be able to, because if the ultra-Orthodox don't agree, and the right-wing factions of his coalition don't agree, or whatever the circumstance might be, it would be somewhere in the beginning of the summer.
When, I think it was October 13th, all the Israeli hostages come out of Gaza, and President Trump flies Air Force One in. It's pretty dramatic. He heads to the Knesset. He gives this fantastic speech. He gets a huge, multiple standing ovations. We covered all of it. And he basically bear hugs Bibi Netanyahu. And he says, I don't know why you would get rid of this guy. Okay, there was October 7th, but look at all the great stuff that we've done.
And says to the president of Israel, Isaac Herzog, give this guy a pardon, right? Because Netanyahu has his corruption trial. And so you saw an amazing bear hug from Trump. You saw that Trump gave probably one of the greatest political endorsements that any politician could ever dream of.
So the polling immediately following, Bibi and Likud shot up in a way that they've been underwater for the last 2 years. And Naftali Bennett and his, as of yet, unnamed right-wing party has been the leader in all the polling, that he was much more likely to put together a government than Bibi. That sort of shifted.
Yeah.
But now it seems to be shifting back. So is Bibi still riding the high of that bear hug and these successes, or?
Israelis look at the end of the day, how do they vote? They vote over security. They vote over their welfare and how they feel as a people. They look at October 7th, obviously a disaster, a failure. Buck stops by Benjamin Netanyahu. But the last 2 years, and by the time we go to elections, it'll be 2.5 or maybe 3, the Middle East has changed. And it is a safer and more secure Middle East for the state of Israel. That's undeniable. That is the reality, and that is thanks to decisions that Benjamin Netanyahu has made as Israel's prime minister.